Hello everyone, it's Kathy and you're back here in my craft room and on my YouTube channel, Kathy's Random Acts of Stampin'. Thanks so much for tuning in. Today we're going to tackle what is the age-old problem for all of us crafters, and that's a masculine card. I don't know any crafter that does not struggle with making masculine cards, and we just don't have enough of I guess tools and supplies and things like that really cater to cards for men, which is sad because men need cards as well as us ladies. So I was looking through this about a week ago, a little over a week ago. My husband's birthday was coming around and I wanted to make him something that was pretty masculine and yet said what I wanted it to say. So the card that I made would be for any man, and then on the inside you can stamp whatever occasion it is. So the star of the show is this stamp set from Stampin' Up called Vintage Tools. I love this stamp set because everything in here just screams things that a man would enjoy. We have tools, hammers, little vice, I think those are called vice grips. We have a plane here, and I'm going to show you how I did this, and it was so much fun to make this card using these particular items. So there's the stamps. They are the cling stamps and they stamp beautifully, and I'm going to show you how we're going to do that today. I have a piece of black cardstock and I'm going to cut this in half with my 11-inch side to the top, and I'm going to cut it at 5.5. So just put it into your trimmer and give it a slice, and then we're going to turn it to 4 1/4 and we're going to give it a score. Move that cut blade out of your way so you make sure you don't cut your cardstock. I bet we've all done it. Go ahead and fold that in half like that, and once you get that nice and together where you want it, I like to take and just press it down with my fingers, and then I like to come back with my bone folder. So I'm going to come back and just give that a real crease, a really strong crease right across there. And I'm going to do it on both sides just to make sure that I'm getting that to lay really nice and flat. Now I have a scrap piece of soft suede, and we're going to use this, and we're going to cut a piece that's going to go just on the bottom of our card. So we want it to go up maybe about, let's see, 2 inches I think would be sufficient. So I'm going to cut 2 inches off in this direction, and then we're going to cut it to 5.5. I want it to go all the way, no I don't, I only want it to go 5 1/4. So I'm going to cut this at 2 inches on the long side, and then I'm going to turn it and I'm going to cut it at 5 1/4. That'll give me that little border that I want to go across the bottom of my card, just like that. So off camera I already did this. I used a piece of silver foil and I ran it through, so that beautiful pattern, I ran it through this embossing folder. This is brand new in our mini catalog, and it's called Cane Weave, and all of the description, all the items I use and the order numbers will be listed on the blog on the PDF file, so you can go there and pick those up. So I'm going to look at this and see if I cut this the right way. I believe I did. I'm going to bring this and cut this down to about 1 inch, and I think we want this to be about 1 1/4 inches. So about like that. So I'm going to drop that in about there and give it a little slice. And then we have this little piece. I'm going to save this because I may be able to use that in another card. I never like to throw away anything. So I'm going to bring this down to the bottom like so, and then this little piece is going to lap over about like that. See what we're getting? And I'm going to go ahead and grab a piece of white cardstock, and I want to stamp out some of these tools. Now I'm going to do this in gray granite. I think the gray granite gives the tools a really vintage look. I think that was the color I used when I did my husband's. We'll see. If that doesn't work, we can always go back and do something else. I'm going to start off with that little plain. Let's go ahead and get some stamp blocks out. And pick that up. I'm going to go ahead and ink this up. Give it a stamp right there. That looks really good. I like that. All right, let me get my Stampin' Scrub over here so I can just kind of clean these off a little bit as we go. This is going to be a fairly quick card. It's not going to take a long time to make this, so which is always a plus. The hardest thing we're going to do is the fussy cutting. I'm going to actually go off camera to do that. So I want to have that little pair of pliers. I want this little grip and this little screwdriver, and maybe this little piece right here. And for my sentiment, strong, solid, and dependable. You could also say it's your day, you're all that and more. Build in some time for yourself, and you are plain awesome. So there's some really great sentiments in there, but I'm going to use that one. I will duplicate the same card that I made for my husband. I figure if I like it, maybe some of you would like it for your masculine cards as well. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up this little screwdriver, and I'm going to stamp it right there and clean my stamp. Then let's get these pliers, and I'm going to put those right there and clean that up a little bit. Then let's do this little ditty. This looks like a little chisel type woodworking tool, and let's do that right there. I love how well these stamp. They just stamp so well, and I think that's so true with any of your cling stamps. The red rubber just stamps beautifully. So I am going to put this piece right about, let's do it right here in the middle. I'm trying to leave enough of room around the sides so that I can get in and fussy cut these. So I'm going to lay that over to the side. The next thing I want to do before I put that up, I'm going to get some black ink. And for this, I'm actually going to go in and grab my, I'm going to use a different ink. Now, Stampin' Up! Doesn't carry the VersaFine, but I like this when I want a really good, bold image that I'm not going to color. Now, if you're coloring, you're definitely going to need to use something like Memento, because you cannot alcohol color on the VersaFine. You can use your colored pencils, and you can use watercolors on it. So I'm going to stamp that right about there. Yep, that's good. Now let's go ahead and close up our ink pads, get those out of our way so I don't make a mess, and clean this off really good. The Versamark ink is a pigment ink versus a dye ink, or is it the opposite? Let me check. Yeah, this is a pigment ink. So pigment inks sit on top of the paper. That's the reason alcohol will move it. Dye inks actually dye into your paper, so therefore alcohol will not move it. So that's just a bit of information that is always good to have. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to center this die over top of my sentiment that I just stamped. Once I get that where I want it, I'm going to take one of my Post-it flags and just stick it down so it doesn't move. And I'm going to run that through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, And I'm going to use my mini one because this will fit in the mini, and it fits on my desk so perfect. It really makes it nice for me to be able to put my machine up and show y'all how I cut. The big one, I love my big machine. I wouldn't take anything in the world for it. But when I'm doing videos, if at all possible for me to use the small one, I do that because it makes it easy for y'all to see exactly what's happening. And as an incentive through the celebration period, which runs now through the end of February, if you come in as a hobbyist, you can come in as a hobbyist, or you can come in and actually sell Stampin' Up! But you don't have to sell. You can be your own best customer, get your discount, and you can actually get $175 worth of product and the mini cut and emboss machine, all for $129. Now, if you decide you don't need the mini embossing machine, Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, then you can opt out and spend $99 and still get $175 worth of free product. It's a great time to come in. So there is our sentiment, all stamped and ready to go. I'm going to go off camera and I am going to cut out all of my little tools, and when we meet back up, we're going to assemble this card, and I'm going to show you just how stinking cute it is. Now, this distance in the camera, these look very faint, but you can see when I bring them up to the camera, they are very vibrant to be tools. They are a bit muted, but remember, this is a stamp set called Vintage Tools, so they're going to have an old worn look, and I love that for this. We'll be right back. I'm going to get these fussy cut, and we'll be right back. Okay, I'm back and I've gotten my little pieces cut out. Now, I will admit, I cheated just a little bit. I'm going to zoom y'all in just a hair. I cheated a little bit. I'm going to show you what I did. I have a Brothers Scan and Cut, so I put those on my Brothers Scan and Cut and told it to cut around them and to only to not put an outline on them, which what I mean is I wanted them to cut directly as close to the image as possible. So that's what it did, and I could not be more thrilled with my Scan and Cut, because as you can see, it even cut the little vice grip right here so that it separated it, which I love. Love, love, love my Scan and Cut. It's such a time saver when you get a now whenever there's a die that goes with a stamp, I always get it. And the reason for that, Stampin' Up! Dies usually give you so much more than just what you can stamp and cut. An example of that would be the, wait a minute, let me get the one I'm thinking of. Playing in the Rain. The Playing in the Rain is so nice because not only does it have dies for these little images that are on here, it also has a tree stump, a fence, a kite, all of these other little dies that are so wonderful. You can cut those little flowers out. You even have the little tails for your kite. You have an umbrella and you have some butterflies. So you always get more in your stamp set than what is on your stamp most of the time. So for that reason, I love my absolutely love my dies whenever they're offered, but for this particular set, dies were not offered. So in those instances, it is so wonderful to have a Scan and Cut, especially if you're cutting a multitude of these images. Now, I will tell you, you can fussy cut them. On the card I made for my husband, I hand cut every piece of it. But today I thought for time sake, I'm trying to get this done a bit quicker than I normally would. So for those reasons, I decided to just go over and use my Scan and Cut to cut those out, and I could not be happier with the way that turned out. So I'm going to take this and lay it right about here. I'm going to bring it down just a hair, maybe about to here. What I'm using to judge how far I want that silver piece to come is by this right here. I want this to sit, so this is about perfect. I'm going to turn that over and I'm going to put some Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of it So I'm going to be careful when you stick these down, making sure that they're not hanging over. There's nothing any more frustrating than to get them on and then realize that they're showing on the front of your card. That's never a good look. So just bring them down. Put one right there, and then another couple of them on the end here. Just like that. And then we're going to pull these off. You know, I'm thinking I might do a different sentiment because I do need a masculine birthday card. I got a birthday coming up that I need to have a masculine card for. And I might change my sentiment. So I'm going to gauge this down to about here. And then press that down. I don't know, you know, I can always make another one. So I'm going to go ahead with what I got since we've already stamped this. I can always use this for another card for someone. So I'm going to take this little piece and I want to glue it down directly to the card. Now if you wanted to use the thick cardstock for these, I didn't, but if you did, you could definitely pop these up and I think they'd be cute. But I think for this one, I'm just going to glue them directly down like that. And then we're going to start putting our tools on. And I want our tools to hang down a little bit onto our soft suede cardstock. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put glue on the handles of this pair of pliers. I'm going to turn my card this way to make it a little easier for me to get that on there. And then I want to put my little vice grip. And again, I'm going to put glue up here on the top edge, just right there, because I want this to hang like it's hanging on a little tool area in your garage. Then I'm going to use this longer, looks like a wood chisel, and again I'm going to just put glue here at the top of it and glue that down right about here. And I saved that little stubby screwdriver because I figured it was short and we could hang it right over top of that plane. So let's put a little bit of glue right there, and then we can put this right about there. You see what I mean? Once you get your pieces together, this just comes together awesome. So now what I'm going to do, if you notice, I have dimensionals on this piece, so I don't need dimensions on the bottom of this. I just need them across the top. So I am going to pull off, and I'm going to put one there, one right here in the middle, and one over on this corner. Something like that. And pull these off like so. And then we're going to, do you see what I did? I laid it down upside down and didn't pay attention, so I'm going to peel these off, bring them up here. Hopefully they're going to come off pretty good. We'll turn it that way and we'll put a little glue on it, because we did peel off a little bit of that paper. So be careful. I thought I was being cautious, but I wasn't cautious enough. Peel that off and put it right here. Okay, now I'm going to put a little dab of glue just to kind of reinforce this, since I do have little shards of paper on there. And now we can put this down right in the middle, and I want it to hang over that piece just a little bit, that foil, and then we're going to hold it and just let it catch right there. Okay, there is our front of our card. Now I think that is super cute. I'm gonna bring it up closer so you can actually get the details of it. I thought it turned out so stinking cute. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take another piece of my soft suede and I'm gonna cut it for a mat on the inside. And I'm gonna double mat this. So I want a piece that is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then we're also going to need a white mat, and I've got some white mats pre-cut, so all we have to do on this is cut it down to 3 3/4. No, yeah, 3 3/4 in this direction and 5 in this direction. And we are ready to mount this to this. And if you wanted to, you could also stamp. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to stamp this little group of nails. I thought that would be really cute. Just here in the corner. And I'm going to put "It's Your Day." So let's grab our stamp block, and now we need to decide if we want to do this in 2 tones. I think I'm going to do black here, and I'm going to do those little nails in soft suede. So take out my soft suede, grab a stamp block and pick those up. And stamp them right about there. That's cute. I think I'm going to do them in the other corner as well. So let's bring them up on this side and stamp them right there. That's cute. And then I'm going to close that ink up, and I'm going to grab my black ink again. And I'm going to line this up down here on my mat. Just on those grid lines so I can make sure that I'm picking it up straight. And then I'm going to ink it up in the black, and then I'm going to stamp right about here, "It's Your Day." So pretty. And then we're going to let's use a little bit of our Stampin' Seal. And then we're just going to center this over this piece of gray granite, soft suede, I'm sorry. And press it, just like that. And then this piece is ready to go in to our card. So I'm going to open my card, and I'm going to lay it in, making sure I'm getting that even border all the way around. Press that down and close it, and there is our cute little masculine card that could be for any occasion, whatever you needed it for. I think this card was so cute. My husband liked his quite a bit, so I felt like if I could impress him, then most anybody could be impressed with the card. He watches me make, or he sees most all of my cards I make, so he was pretty impressed that I had fussy cut all of those pieces, which I did on his card, and I do have a picture of it. This is a picture of it, and I thought it turned out really, really super cute. But then here it is, and I think this one is equally as cute. So you know, this versus I fussy cut this. These do not look quite as neat as these, so I will say that the Scan and Cut does a much better job of cutting than my scissors and my hand does. Although there are times I enjoy fussy cutting, but when I'm in a hurry, it's not one of those. But anyway, this is our little installment for today on Masculine Card. We'll call it Masculine Card Tuesday. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this is a card that you might want to make for that special man in your life. And if so, you can pick up any of these products that I used over on my Stampin' Up website, and I will have all of the items listed with the order numbers to make it super easy for you to place an order. And think about if you would like to come in and enjoy the discount. Like I said, if you want to sell and make some extra money, by all means do that too. You'll be supplied with all the tools and everything that you need. Plus, I'm always here to help you. So, and like I said, it is a wonderful time that you can, $129, you can get the little stamp and cut and emboss machine. Not only can you get the white one, but they're offering just during this period of time, you can also get the boho blue, which is so cute. It's a beautiful blue machine. I did not order it because I already have my little white one, and I just didn't see the need to have two of them. So it's a great time, plus that $175 worth of product. So wonderful deal. But if you don't need the machine, remember you can always get it you can get your $175 worth of anything you want out of either annual catalog or the mini catalog. And it's just a great time to come in, and Celebration's always a wonderful time. And don't forget, if you just want to place an order, for every $50 you spend before shipping and tax, you can actually choose a free item out of our Celebration catalog. There are some beautiful, look at that paper, this paper, those beautiful adorable owls right there. There are some other stamp sets, these two stamp sets. This one is actually $100, this one's $50, and this paper right here is actually a free pack of paper. It's 48 sheets. It's called Dandy Designs. It is beautiful, and you can use this for almost any card of any sort. Just a beautiful pack of paper. And this is a host set. If you place an order of $300 or more, you automatically get this stamp set for free. And it's called Scenic Garden, and it's beautiful. So anyway, just thought I would throw all that out there before I close. God bless and keep you. And as I always state in closing, let everything that you do and say bring glory to our Father in heaven. He is worthy, so worthy of our praise and honor. So until we craft again, God bless and keep you. I love you guys so much. Bye-bye.